Hi everyone, this is Amy with Mimi, Myself, and I Designs. Today I'm going to show you how to play around in the Cricut Craft Room. I've had lots of requests for information on Craft Room since I've been doing several of my projects in there. So I just wanted to give you a quick tour. This is going to be very basic. I need to find an apple cut for some cards that I'm making. So in order to find an image, you're going to come down here. Down here it shows all your cartridges. And there's a drop-down menu where you can choose several different groups of cartridges. I have it on my cartridges usually, because those are the only ones I can cut from. You can only cut from the cartridges that you own. But I'm going to go into the image search here. And I'm just going to type in apple and click on search. So that'll bring up all the apple images, and you can drag this. I'm just holding the button down with my mouse and just, moving it up. It'll come up with all the images with an apple. This little green link down here means that you have that cartridge. I'm going to scroll down a bit. Trying to find, yes. This is the image that I want to use. So I am going to double click on that. And then minimize this. There's a little arrow right up here. If you click on that, that'll disappear. All right. I double clicked it because I want to, I'll show you why. Let me move one of these down here. All right. If you notice, this apple cut, the leaf is separate from the rest of the apple. So one of the cool things you can do in the craft room that you cannot do on your Cricut alone is hide a cut. I don't want to make the leaf and the apple the same color. I would like to make the apple part red and the leaf green. So I'm going to click on the image, and then a box shows up around it. And right here it says hide contour. So I'm going to click on that. And it takes you into this little screen. Do you see how when I move the mouse it changes the line from black to red? While it's red, if you click it, it will make it a lot lighter. That means you've hidden that cut. So when your Cricut goes to cut this image, it will not cut out the leaf. It will only cut out the apple. So then after you've hidden the cuts that you want by clicking on them, you go to exit, and there you'll see what it's going to be cut out actually. Now that leaf is still here, and Craft Room knows that, because if you try to move this image up here to save paper, it's not going to let you. It'll say there's an image off the mat when you go to cut, and it's not going to let you cut that one out. I've just kind of found that out by doing it and not having that work. So I'm going to go back down here, and I would like to cut more than one apple. Actually, I don't want it this size, so first I'm going to get it the right size. Up here is width and height. I think I would like my apples to be about 1.25 inches high. Let me take a quick look at my mat over here to see if that size will be good. Yeah, I think so. So then I can position it where I want, being careful to not have that leaf overhang the Cricut mat, or else it won't cut. Then you can click on, right up at the top here, it says copy, and then paste. And it'll put the same exact image right next to it on the mat. So if I highlight this one, copy, paste. And I can do that and make a whole row of these. Generally they're spaced pretty well apart. Sometimes if the shape of your object is a little bit different, you can rotate them to try to fit more on a page. something like that. The last one that I'm going to do, I move it down here. And again, your, I wonder if it'll let me cut these. I'm just going to leave some space. I'm not too concerned about the paper that I'm using. So I'm going to do it like this. And then I need to make 20 of these apples. So I'm going to make more than 20 just so I have extras in case. So bear with me here. I'm going to move that. Okay, so I just need one more row. Some of you might, I don't know if there's another way to do this. This is just how I do this. Okay, so now I've got this apple down here, and I need to make it also 1.25. Oops. Now you'll notice that this apple and this apple are a different size when they're actually both 1.25 in height. That's because I still have the stem on this one. I haven't taken it off yet. So I'm going to go ahead and go in. I'm going to hide this so that I can change this apple back to the proper size. 1.25, enter. And then I can go back, and now my leaf will be the right size to go with the apples that I made. But I want to cut the leaf, not the apple. Okay? So I hid that, and now I'm going to do some rows of leaves. Let's come over here and play with this. This says image quantity. I've already done 7, so I'm going to see if I can do 14 and what that'll do. I think it's thinking. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I think it's still thinking because it won't let me do anything. Okay, well that didn't work out, so I'm just going to turn that back to 0. Again, this is just the way that I've always done it, is by copy pasting. But by trying different things out like I just did, you can kind of play around with it and see what works and what doesn't work. Most of what I know on Cricut Craft Room, I've learned by either trying things out, playing with it a lot, or going online and checking out tutorials on YouTube. There's several people who can explain really well. And when I find those, I'll put those up with a link on my blog so that you guys can watch those too. But right now, I am going to use a lot of green paper to cut out these little stems. Because again, I'm not sure if you have to have them spaced with that apple. Okay, so I've got 21 of each. So what I'm going to do is turn on my Cricut, so it's going to get loud here. Okay, and then I'm going to plug in the USB cord to the side of my computer. And then you'll hear a little sound when it registers that it's... Do you hear that? Okay. So when you go to cut, you're going to come up to the green button here, click cut. There's some sort of a... Oh, looky there. It automatically detected my device. Sometimes you have to choose it. Sometimes you don't have to. And you'll see here, there's all these leaves on my apples there. Interesting. So let's click cancel and go back in and look at that. Oh, okay. Remember when I put image quantity here? Yeah, that just automatically placed them apparently all over the mat without regards to what else is there. So if you want to do a quantity of an image, you can do that as long as you haven't already placed images on the mat. That was a good way to find that out. All right, let's get rid of these extra stems and then I can show you how to cut. I'm just clicking on it and then clicking delete. Again, if you know a shortcut, feel free to use it. I don't right now. All right, so you're going to click on cut. And you might need to choose your machine on the prior page, unless it's hooked up by USB cord. If you're hooked up with the cord, it should just go straight to this screen. There's different things you can do on this screen. I only have one page set up, but there should be a drop-down menu up here if you have more than one mat set up, and we can do that in another video. I'm not going to get into that right now. But then over here you have choices on this drop-down menu for vinyl, light cardstock, medium cardstock, heavy cardstock, or custom if you want to choose your own setting. I always choose light cardstock just because I keep my blade depth set at 5, and the heavy cardstock on here, they want you to have it at 6, and I don't usually do that unless I'm cutting my white daisy or colonial whites close to my heart cardstock. So otherwise, this is generally what I use, is the light cardstock setting. Okay, so I'm going to get my mat set up and then I'll come back. Okay, I'm back and I have put the paper on my mat like so. You can tell on here that it's 6 inches of red and then 6 inches of green is the entire cutting space. So I just placed my paper on my mat according to where those images are and what color I want them to be. And then I'm going to load my mat before I do anything else. Make sure my blade's set on 5, just like it says here. And then you're going to click cut. And then this pops up. Make sure that your mat is loaded. And then you hear it cutting. So that's really all there is. This screen will stop, go away once it's done cutting, and you can eject your mat from your machine. Alright, I'm back again just to show you. My mat is all finished cutting. I have ejected it, and I'm going to click on done. Then you can just click on this to X out, or I like to click on my projects and it'll ask you, do you want to save this project? So I'm going to save it, and I'm going to call it Apples Original, I know. And then I'm going to save it. That way I don't have to go through this again to find some apples. Okay, there you go. And actually it saves, I'll show you real quick, it saves all of your projects that you name and save. So if you have a project that you make over and over again, that totally makes sense to keep a file saved on it, so you can just pull it up and cut it again. Okay, this is Amy, again, from Mimi, Myself, and I Designs. See you later. Bye.